Good morning, guys, and we are here today with an awesome couple, Sree, Sonic, and Janet. So welcome them on board.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting us actually.
Thank you for taking your time actually to be here, because you all know and we know each other and being Australians, kind of thing. So just for the audience sake, can you all just tell us a bit about where you're from and how you all started?
I'm originally from Panko Island and I was doing water sport business there. The year 1997, if I'm not mistaken, I came down to KL to explore KL basically, to start work and stuff like that, and that's how I met my wife Janet. Then I went back to Panko again to work. Didn't work out. Came back, got married, and life starts from there basically.
I'm actually from KL itself. We got married in 2002, and that's gone. I was still working in SRG at that time.
So coming back to how you all started, because people will see you all as where you all are now, and they won't see about those days. Okay, what made you actually go into photography?
Photography, I usually, in all the interviews, I'll always say that I didn't look for photography. Photography looked for me at the time. Because the time when I started, there's no digital. You don't put things on Facebook and wait people to like. There's nothing like that. It's all still analog cameras and stuff. From nowhere, I started to get this interest, but not in photography actually. In seeing things in composition, appreciate it. Things that I used to see since small kid, even back in my hometown that normal ape who always sits there, that same boat will always pass by the stone, At that point, I started to see it as a shot. And when I tell my friends, they were like, "What the hell are you?" No, they don't really understand what I'm saying. So only at that point, I felt like if only I could have a camera, I could capture what I'm actually seeing. Probably they don't get the picture. Probably they're looking at the bigger picture. I'm looking at something else. So that's how I started to interest in photography basically. So after that, magic happens. What happened is I used to go temple and pray all.
Okay.
Hopefully I can get a camera. I want to buy a camera. And there's only one camera shop in the island. So we always go to the shop just to have a look for two reasons. Canon 888, 1020 ringgit. For that time, it's quite expensive. So the another reason why we go to the shop is the owner herself. Damn hot. She's damn hot. So every time I'll go to the shop, just have a look at it, and then I'll ask her, got discount, this and that. I know I got no money, but I'll just walk off. But I will keep on going. So one fine day, parked my bike where there are a lot of other bikes, and then came down, took my bike, went off. Then suddenly I saw this one white plastic bag in the basket. I was like, what is this? Not mine. When I open it, Canon 888 in that bag, in the plastic bag. I went to the hotel, told them that there's a camera in my, if anybody looking for a camera, call me and stuff like that. Nobody came back. So officially,
it was meant for you.
Meant for me. So I say, okay. Then from there I started to play with it, get to know it more. Yeah, I came to KL, I was looking for a job with this photographer and I couldn't get the job. So I said, okay, the other job that I know is F&B. So I said, okay, I'll join F&B for a while, time being, until I get another photography job. I just stayed in that F&B line for about 4 years, I think. A typical mindset where you're comfortable, you get paid, you don't want to take risks, People normally don't really want to jump into something else when they are in a comfort stage.
Bad experience.
Jump.
And he came back to me and told me that, I think I have to quit this job and do this full time and all that. So we had this discussion thing, which is like, we freaked out but then somehow we have to, overcome this.
But when you all started, before that, you all were like a young family.
Yes,
very young.
Bills.
I was only 22 and he was 24.
How was that mental challenge or going through it or that starting phase?
Didn't really affect us, but
I was quite, what do you call that? Like I was holding on to my ground. I said, let's do this. I I told her, I said the difference between a well-to-do guy and a middle-class man is somewhere down the line, this one middle-class man took some risk. I don't know, whatever risk it is, he took risk, then he jumped there. So you need to take somehow some risk for you to go to the next stage. If success comes very easy, everybody will be, nobody have to work lah.
Yeah, you want to appreciate.
Our first
Yes.
jump was having a kid, which it's quite hard,
Very,
but somehow we made it. Like, it was like, okay, fine, we can do this. So we had our first kid when we were like
Very,
early 20s, yeah.
Once I decided to stop working, I told her, I said, Janet, I want to do this full time. And photography at that time it's not like now, there's no demand like now. Those days when I started, people take picture 80 ringgit per roll. I said, I don't know whether whatever I'm gonna do now will be a successful business, but I will only know when I try it. So let's take this risk. I said, if we need to eat Maggie, we eat Maggie. Whatever money we have, just keep it for food. No need to pay car, no need to pay electricity bill, no need to pay rent, nothing, don't pay anything. If anyone come to the house and say, hey, why you haven't pay your bill, that time pay him a bit, kautim, and then do. Because I feel a lot of people don't want to take risk in life because of this fear, fear of not paying house, fear of cannot pay phone bill. So I said, it's okay. Worst case scenario, they're gonna pull my car away.
Okay.
Never mind lah. It's okay, I'm not gonna die, right? So I said, let it be. So we stick to the plan, and I think my car kena tarik 2 times. Within 6 months, I already starting to make money already.
Okay.
So when I was working with the company, I was making only 25,000 a year. The first year I stopped, we made 76,000.
First year.
First year. If I still fear for phone bill and the stupid car bill and stuff like that, I would have not made that much progress.
24 to 76. In English we call this having balls.
And we don't have anyone to back us up, and we have a kid and rented house, kid, and no work and stuff like that. It's actually a big risk lah. I have a lot of confidence in me. I know what kind of person I am. Obviously with her support lah, because that time she was still working in SRG or something, and say, okay lah, let's do this. She was not against my idea, so that's one very important thing, because when your wife don't support, you are done.
His dream.
Okay.
So you wanted that, so yeah, I have to do this. So yeah, it's because of him. So, and I did not feel any fear that he would actually have failure, so I knew that he can actually make it, because even though when he started as a part-time, he's already doing good. His pictures are really good. It's through the film, it's not from the digital cameras. It's like he already produced good quality, so I know he can actually do it.
For one day, I want my picture to be in a magazine. First time, that's my ultimate goal or something like that. Suddenly, at one point, you see most of the magazine, they'll use my picture. Almost most of the magazine, there'll be my picture, from travel to business, portraits, everywhere. Then one day I must appear in newspaper. So I don't know how many newspapers I can. One day I must appear on TV. Is there one day I must work in this company. I already worked with every company.
All this comes back by taking the jump.
Yes.
If you didn't take that jump,
Yes.
all this won't happen.
Seeking advice is another very important factor in when you're planning to go to the next step. When you ask advice, ask the right person. When you want to do business, ask someone who's already doing business. When you ask your colleague, he is not going to give you the right answer, because he himself not doing business. That's why he's working. That's why his lifestyle is like that. The reason why is he like that is because of his thoughts of doing business. For him, business all risky lah nowadays. Because even when I stopped working, my colleagues and my fellow managers came to my house when I gave my resignation letter, because I was one of the favorite staff in that whole organization. I was the ambassador, and they did a lot of stuff for me. And he came to my house and say, no, Sree, don't resign lah. I say why? He said, times are bad. You got kid. You need to pay all these bills and stuff. This is not the right time. Then I told him, I said, okay, like this lah. I can take back the resign letter, but can you tell me when the time will get better?
You honestly wait for the right time, it doesn't happen.
Now is the right time. So you need to start means you start now. By hook or by crook, you just start. So getting advice, you need to know from who you're getting lah. Get from the person who's already doing it.
People always get advice from the wrong people.
Yes.
So I want to thank you all for that sharing, and I also want to put in a note, like when last year when we started our diesel engine oil business, and actually when I contacted Sree and we want to do a photo shoot, you didn't put a price there, or you didn't come and say, oh no, my schedule is booked and I can't do it. You actually came out from your way to actually come and help us and do that shoot and all that. So I want to thank you all like really right now, because see, it didn't just happen and be over about it. It's still in my mind. So I think as you grow, what I've seen is you always turn back and help out other people. You don't have this thing, oh I've made it. You always want to encourage, and
correct.
Even when this interview right now, I called you yesterday and told you, and you were like, I'm all in to help you all. So this is what I appreciate about you all, and and the relationship, besides being Australians, we always go back to actually helping one another.
Yes.
And thank you to my Australian wife sitting down there. She's always like what you said, behind the scenes, the support. If you all want to know more about Sree and Janet and what they do, we'll drop all your links and descriptions inside, and just go and type their name on Google, you'll get everything. You don't need to drop descriptions again. So thank you all again for
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Thank you, Janet.
Thank you.